almost sound like Phil Collins out this.
It actually does sound like Phil Collins, yeah. It feels very Disney.
Right?
It feels very Disney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like from The Lion King or something, you know?
Like just like a cute ass song.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Change the vibe up in this bitch. Cause this is like everything's over. It's a wrap. We can stop hating on each other.
You know?
Go up to a white person and ask them for a dance.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Good uplifting music.
You know what I'm saying?
And I just want to throw out there that it's a happy Sunday for people to reach out and touch your neighbor and say, "Hey, what's going on?" That's all.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We on our positive shit today, you know what I'm saying?
We are. We're trying to start the year with a good vibe going on, you know?
Hell to the.
I think everybody deserves a good vibe, you know?
Well, like usual, welcome to another episode of Making Noise in the Kitchen. I am yours truly, your boy Carlo Banga, a.k.a. Don Perignon. And we have...
the governor, which is the senator. Oh, my God. See, that's why I don't like to drink before the show starts.
Here, all right, hold on. Let's try it again. All right, let's try it again. This is Carlo Banga, a.k.a. Don Perignon. And we got...
Uncle Mario, a.k.a. the senator. Take two.
It'll come soon. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. Yes. No, that's... I see what you're saying. You don't like drinking before. Yeah, I feel you. I'm a little tipsy myself. Shit. So what is cracking in the world today? I mean, we had, we kind of chilled out the last episode. You know what I'm saying? We were relaxing, but before that, the episode that is released, we went hard on those fucking terrorists. I mean, no, wait, I'm sorry. I messed up. I'm not going to call them terrorists. I said I'm not going to call them terrorists. Those fucking clowns. But anyway.
Bleep.
Yeah, you know how I like to start off the show. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even realize.
We're jumping right in.
I didn't even realize that.
Well, so we left it all after the traitors and
yeah, we surpassed that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then we got the president finally got out, and we finally got our president in there. And I'm not going to say our president. I'm saying everybody's president. We finally got somebody that's going to speak for everybody in there. Okay. And he's been hard at work. He's been hard at work. It's been a week, but hey, he's been
signed mad executive orders.
Exactly.
And I guess he's pretty much going hard on trying to get us the rest of that $2,000.
Yep.
You know what I mean? What else did he?
He's
doing more of a fight on. He's very focused on coronavirus. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And this new budget calls for an aggressive stand against this virus, and if they don't give them the money, they're going to slow things down again. I think he'll get it passed because it's a really good plan, and more people need to. It's just that simple. More people need vaccinations. I know we're constantly hearing about these people don't want to take the vaccination. You know what? Let everybody that wants to get it first get it then. Mm-hmm. And then if they don't see any problems, we'll go back to those communities and get those people vaccinated. It's their call. We can't make people get vaccinated in this country. This is still America.
Of course not. And so, I guess that's the main fight for him right now. But what I'm seeing, it's like, I mean, it is what it is. You know, that's what he said he was gonna come in and do. The first steps is gonna fight the virus and everything.
Right.
But now, like, speaking with other people who had the virus, man, I could see why some of these people ain't really giving a shit about this whole coronavirus thing. They're not caring. I'm seeing a lot more people not wearing masks. They're just walking around like it is what it is, because there's some people that I know that had the virus, and they told me straight up, they were like, yo, I was smoking more than I've ever smoked. You know what I'm saying? He's like, they told me that they had no taste or no smell for a week.
Right.
And this is my homeboy who told me this. Like, he had no taste, no smell for a week, and he said that just made him want to crave shit more. Like, he was craving to, like, eat stuff more. You know what I'm saying?
So
and it's true, because that's how the mind messes with you. That's like when I was locked up. Like, I couldn't get access to like food, and when I'm seeing commercials, I'm like, oh my god, I want to eat it. When I got out, I never ate that shit. But like, it's weird. And so like he was, I guess that can make you gain a little bit of weight. But he was like, other than that, he's like, yo, I didn't have no sore throats, no nothing. So I'm seeing it varies for different people.
Right, absolutely.
So,
and it varies severely from person to person.
And that's the thing that kind of would make me double think things, because it's like I've seen it on both ends. You've had a dude who, you know, is strong, and he battled. It said it was nothing for him. And then I have another friend that has underlying conditions, right. And there was some little bit of problems here and there, as we heard on the episode. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But other than that, he got right through it. You know what I'm saying? So
well, even your mom with pre-existing conditions, you know.
Yeah, my mom's
had a couple of issues with it, you know.
She went and took the damn vaccine.
Right.
My mom's went and took the vaccine, and then as soon as she took it, within a day or two, like, she was jacked up for like 3 days.
Yeah, she felt all the symptoms.
Yeah, everything, the abdominal pains
headaches,
and everything. You know what I'm saying? And then people want to be like, oh, she shouldn't have took it because she had the underlying conditions or whatever.
But if you're damned with it and you're damned without it, you know what I'm saying?
So it's like, so then where is the win-win in any of it?
Well, there's none. There's no win-win. There never is.
That's why people are just like, at this point, like, yo, let's just keep living this life and take proper precautions, I guess. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, do the best you can, though, but do not stop doing them, because you know you get complacent and you bring home something, you know, that
when you least expect it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know? When you get complacent.
You know, I do it all the time. I used to have the Purell in the car all the time, you know, and I still do occasionally, but when, you know, now what I try to do is I try to use everybody else's Purell. So if you go into Publix or something, you know, they've got big, huge bottles right out front that you hit yourself with, and you clean the. I think a lot of the problem is being spread by, you know, people grabbing people's carts at Publix. You know, they don't let the people give enough time to clean down the carts. You know. So I do it myself.
Because you walk into Publix and you just see carts lined up and everything, but then you go, you know, you got those kids that are out there, and they spray them down and put them in those orders, and then it's up to you to go the extra precaution.
But a lot of times, you know, you'll get to your car and you'll unload your car, and then somebody that's walking right next to you, okay, I'll take the cart.
I never, you know, nowadays since Corona happened, I remember before that people be, I'll take that. Right. Or like you'll offer somebody, be like, hey, you want the cart? I don't do none of that shit. I take that shit, I pretend they ain't even there. I take that shit straight to the little cart thing.
Right.
Or if it's like, you know, like Walmart and all this shit, you're gonna run, I'll put it there. And it's like, I'm not going in the parking lot and grabbing a cart that's there.
Right.
So that's up to that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's weird because it's funny how it even fell into the UFC last night. This coronavirus.
Really?
UFC was a phenomenal night last night. You know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor fought last night.
Cool.
His ass got knocked the hell out.
In what round?
The second round.
Oh, God.
Second round.
Dang.
Dustin Poirier, this dude from Louisiana, he trains out in Coconut Creek, out in Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
Like, if you know Dustin Poirier, you know that this new Dustin Poirier is like Conor McGregor had to get him out of there in the first round. Like, my son tried to bet me on it, and I told him, I said, if he's not knocking him out in the first round, good luck, because you're talking about a dude who beat the shit out of Justin Gaethje. Right. Like the fight that we watched when them two Ferguson and Gaethje, when they were bloodying each other.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Dustin Poirier beat the shit out of that dude Gaethje. And it's once you get him in the trenches and he starts swinging, he's gonna knock you. He's gonna dust you off. And sure enough, well, what happened was McGregor. He's one of those fighters that he's up there like that. That lead leg was out, and he just started
slapping that leg.
Just started just kicking him on that on that nerve that's on the bone. And then once you start hitting it through the muscle right there, that inflammation has nowhere to go. So like you're crippled. You are crippled. So you can't throw a proper jab with a
you can't put no weight on it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then finally he saw that, and Conor was trying to get away from punches, and he squared up. You saw him he just flatted out, and the right hand that landed right into his shit put him down, and he was gone. He was gone.
I'm gonna go out the right way. I'm gonna go out on my feet or on my back.
Hey, I mean, much props to McGregor. You know what I'm saying? But and then Khabib,
it's nobody should ever feel that they got into the ring and they let anybody down. Dude, you're walking into a ring.
Yeah, I mean,
a guy that could probably kill most people out there.
Of course, like you got to be a real dumbass to be like, oh, he a bitch for losing and all that. You got you got to give him all the respect in the world. But like, just the politics of things. If you're not a real UFC or MMA, fanatic, you wouldn't understand. But like, it's like, you got guys like Khabib Nurmagomedov that I spoke to you about, the dude from Russia, that this is what he is. He started talking shit about Conor after that. And it was like, that's another story. We won't get into that. But anyway, the way coronavirus got involved in this, it was crazy because, they did this fight in Abu Dhabi. And that was the first time they had a packed arena. The arena, they said they did social distance, but of course it's Abu Dhabi. Everything's very meticulous.
Anybody?
They were all masked up.
Oh, really?
Everybody.
Cool.
They followed those protocols. I'm sure they got temperatures. I'm sure they had to get clearance before they came through. It's Abu Dhabi. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's probably like majority millionaires out there.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy because they were asking Dana White about, so what happens next? Conor McGregor, he's not that everybody. He's human now.
Right.
So what now? Where is he gonna fight? What are we gonna try to sell out another Abu Dhabi arena for him? Like, what are we gonna do? It's like, the only option you have is to go back to the States, and they have their own little. It's like a practice facility that they've been taping out since Corona started.
Right.
And so it's like a guy of the caliber like McGregor, you're gonna put him in that little arena and try to have him fight somebody after all these millions that they made.
Right.
And McGregor was like, Dana White was like, we got to think about it, but ever since this new administration now, there's probably not going to be any of that traveling going on. There's not going to be none of that. What arena I'm going to be able to sell out in the States? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to keep coming out of overseas and trying to find places like this. He's like, this new administration, he's like, I haven't spoken to any of them. And mind you, Dana White is a Trump supporter.
Right.
And he's like, I haven't spoken to anybody, but I can imagine it's going to be very, very hard to actually get things done this year. Dana White is the guy who started the sports world to start airing sports, but just no crowds.
Right.
He started that.
Right. That was a smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know. If people are saying that things are going to be, well, I guess once they get started. Because they need to get started first before they start. Before they can, get to that point. But if people are talking about getting to a normal state of being by November,
I don't see it happening.
I don't know, man. I think if they can get people back, and there's always stuff that's fighting against that making us hit that line, like people not going back for their second vaccination.
Yeah, because after the first one, just like my mama. She's like, why the hell do I want to go through that again?
Right.
Excuse me. He's like, why would I want to go through that again?
So at that point, you're only 56% protected, which is still good odds, but when you're talking about such a virus, I think you want to be, a little bit more protected if you can.
I just see, and then you got people that are still going out to the bars and going out. Like, it's cool what they're doing in New York with the whole food scene. I see the little bubbles that they're making, and they have the outdoor dining and everything, and it could be heated. Perfect date environment. Jesus Christ, I would love to just go to New York to just go do that.
Absolutely, a one-on-one. It's perfect.
Yeah, little bubble.
And it could be snowing outside. And
exactly, and you're cool. There's heaters in that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's dope shit, but you got places like Florida that are not doing that. And so as long as you got places that are still going ham, because like I said, I go up the block and that pool hall is jam-packed. You know what I'm saying? So how is this shit going to stop soon?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think dudes want to see bitches' faces no more. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Oh my God. I just want I don't want to go through this hassle no more.
I just want to get back to normal. I want to be back to normal. I think people are very still stressed out and still I know I am. I know everything these days makes me more crazier than ever, So I find myself getting very easily depressed. And I think everybody in general is going through that.
Yeah, depression, man, oh man. I've been doing so much in order to keep myself out of depression. I've seen that's what I have to do. Is just make myself busy, right. and in order to not go down that road, and I cut myself off from certain things because I know myself, and I know that if I start getting worried about things, or if I start overthinking things to where it's like I'll drink a 12-pack of something and get blasted and burn all night just so I make sure I go to sleep, and then I lay down and I'm still thinking about everything that's going on. Yeah. It's like, oh, no. I try myself. I don't get to that point, you know what I'm saying? Because this depression shit will wear you out. Then you ain't going to get to where you need to be.
Well, and if you get to even a further point than that, and you're just freaking out, you definitely need to find a hotline and give somebody a call, or call a friend or somebody, and just let them know how you're feeling. Sure. I know it's hard to do, especially in these days where you what do you call a friend? Somebody that you talk to on the phone 3 times a week.
And then too, now I think it's such an easier time for somebody who's depressed. Right. Because you don't have to leave your house in order to speak to somebody. There's plenty of like psychiatrists and things of that nature that do the Zoom calls and shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty interesting thing. And I think that'll make you feel even more better because you're in the comfort of your own home and you could cut that shit off whenever you want. You know what I'm saying? Right. But definitely I wonder. And there's a lot of actions and a lot of people within splurting this politics bullshit that shows depression as well.
Oh yeah.
It's it's
because there's no normalcy. I mean, we were everybody was used to getting up in the morning with a purpose and doing what you needed to do without being afraid of your life, for your life, Now, I have pre-existing conditions. So if I go outside and, I catch this virus, it could damn near kill me.
One thing too is that this is the what is that word the entitlement that you could call it entitlement, but it's because they're not in the know. But it's you're speaking on people that have never been on unemployment before and don't understand how unemployment moves. Right. And so they're getting put in a position that they criticized a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so just imagine it makes that depression go even quicker for these normal people out here. You know what I'm saying? They've never this whole pandemic shit and everything. This is easy for some people, especially in the inner city, especially that weren't able to get jobs and shit like that. And you know what I mean? They've dealt with the depression of being home for months on end and not being able to go places because they don't have the means. You know what I'm saying? And they have to deal with the eyes on them, people looking at them and saying, this nigga don't, you know what I'm saying? Right. He don't even get up past 12 or shit. The nigga don't have to. Right. Unfortunately, it's not like the nigga don't, he wants to. in some circumstances, because there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of unemployment and shit like that right now. I'm not even going, I'm gonna keep it $1.50, but it's like that's why a lot of the inner city can handle this. Other than white people, we see a lot of suicide rates go up now in the more suburban areas, especially from the men.
Well, men are, men are, I think in this pandemic, men are being affected more. Almost. Because, normally,
equally, let's be politically correct, but go ahead.
And equally, men were raised to be, fixers.
Yeah.
Women were brought up to type and to do good with with basically computers, and that's what the world is today.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now the economy has changed. There's people being laid off because nobody is really trying to get around anymore. As much because of this pandemic, and of course the husbands are getting laid off. The women are going back to work, and they're working at home. So they have two jobs. One is a housekeeper, a house wife, and one has a full-time job. Most of the time. And I can imagine for somebody like that, how can it not get depressing? I mean, Christ, there's so much on top of you.
Yeah, you go from every day just, hustle and bustle.
Right.
And then now it's just like you're just standing there stagnant. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now, like a lot of people, what they do, like, my mom and her husband, they created, they have the availability to do so, but they created, offices in their house in different rooms. And you kind of got to role play. You know what I'm saying? Pretend that your ass is getting up and going to work. And, you know what I'm saying? It's, I guess, got to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, and it's
helps
the whole
mentally.
Ability. Yeah, it absolutely helps mentally. When you know what's coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
You feel so much more secure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, that's when the most shit hits the fan.
And that's what I'm very anxious because I'm not working right now. But so just knowing that makes you very, very anxious about what tomorrow's gonna bring, or hopefully what tomorrow's gonna bring.
Yeah. And I wonder the statistic of drug use.
I'm sure it goes into a circle, So you're depressed about not being able to find a job, plus everything else that's going on. It makes it even harder to find a job because you're so depressed, and it's just a vicious cycle. And then anxiety, where sometimes the anxiety gets to where I don't even want to leave the house. I'm like anxious about leaving the house. So it trips me out sometimes. It's definitely a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So one, sometimes you're fine and you're good, and then other times you're back there just in that roller coaster again.
Yeah, you fall quick into the hole.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'll be up 1 minute, and then all of a sudden you just start thinking. It's when you get engulfed in your brain, and that's why I say I keep myself busy.
Or it doesn't take much to get you there. You'll see something on TV, or you'll watch, you hear something on the radio or something like that, and you're there already.
And
Bam.
so, like, that's why I think of, like, but drug use has that gone up, because especially, like, I know for sure, like, smoking weed has been like number one since this whole shit has happened. Everybody had made sure that they got their trees and they are back at the crib and they're chilling because they're gonna be inside. You know what I'm saying? But like, what about the other shit, like heroin? I wonder how hardcore like people ran back into that, because I haven't heard shit in a while. Like I feel like my whole life has been affected with people around me and heroin. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I think, the Oxy thing, happened, and that took a lot of the people from the heroin use to Oxys and to medicational uses, So I don't know. I really haven't heard too many stories or statistics about the heroin use. The last time I heard a story about heroin abuse in America must have been 8 years ago. and it was talking about how heroin abuse had become a middle class disease now.
Yeah,
You know?
that's around. I think that was towards the end of it because that started before I joined the army. It's weird to say, like I got a lot of friends and people that died from heroin overdoses.
Oh yeah.
And that was even before I joined the military because that's when Afghanistan that heroin from Afghanistan was coming in.
Right.
And they were like the number one distributor. I couldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? This is before I joined the military. I was like, Afghani heroin. And it was, I guess, that black tar shit.
Right.
And then sure enough, I had a friend in Maryland. I always used to go to his house, me, my old lady, and the kids. I think Carlton was just alive at that time. Isaiah wasn't born yet. So we would go over there and chill in his living room. And, his mother was best friends with my mom and shit.
Right.
And so, like, whenever the kids weren't around, we'd be on the living room couch smoking trees and everything and just chilling. And sure enough, one morning I get a call and they're like, yo, they found his brother dead on that couch. And we drove over there and they pull him out and, you know what I'm saying, in the body bag and everything. And they found the bag on him, you know what I'm saying? And it was that Afghani heroin. And his sister was addicted to the same shit, you know what I'm saying? So it was like always that going on. And then it was until I go to Afghanistan, like that following year, then I see it for myself. I see the poppy fields. It was heroin everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Searching jingle trucks that would come into the base and you would find just.
You know, when I was a teenager, I had my own little stories about, heroin and heroin use and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I went through my own little experience with it.
Yeah.
Luckily I was one of the few that got out and I was able to do my own thing. But a lot of people don't make it out.
Yeah, that's real.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I went, to counseling, to become a substance abuse counselor, and I worked in the field for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
It burns you out really quickly.
Yeah.
But you're able to show people that you can turn your life around.
Yeah. And there's different people, like I've dabbled. Shit ain't no secret. I've dabbled with different drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as heroin, I think like I was like 16. I mean, someone like sprinkled a little bit in a blunt, and like I hit that, and that was it for that. Besides that, I always see like my niggas selling it and stuff like that.
Right.
But like others are like cocaine. Oh my lord, the past with me and cocaine and the family and friends, like this shit is ridiculous. And that was the era that I grew up in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The eras that we grew up in,
exactly.
There was a certain, you know what I mean?
Right.
What they used to call it was it like the elegant drug or whatever, or the fucking, the party. It was that shit.
Right.
Like cocaine was normal.
Get together drug, Everybody gets together. Everybody does this little dipping and dabbing, and you move on.
You know what I'm saying? But like, then what my generation has that shit going, then you got the people with the psychedelics and stuff like that. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at it. But like, unfortunately, even in my generation too, I've had man, oh man, I've had so many of my fucking friends die from heroin overdoses, yo. I mean, family. I'm not gonna get specific because I'm not gonna disrespect, and I don't know, but I have family, immediate family that is tattooed on me, that have.
Crazy.
I mean, had to sit there with them, you know what I'm saying, and witness it all. And it's the most craziest thing in the world, you know what I'm saying? As well.
It's an addictive drug to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have an addictive nature.
Yeah. Especially if it's in your bloodline, if there's roots in your family that got addictive traits to them.
Right. And it's not, people think of addictive traits as drinking or smoking or shooting heroin or whatever. No, it's not just that. It's some people go too far at some things. Yeah. They work too hard. They love too hard.
Yeah, the addiction doesn't have to. The addiction can be positive.
Right, but it could cause negativities too. I mean, you can love somebody too hard and drive them away from you. And it's a scary thing. But people don't realize those things. So you gamble too much because you have an addictive nature. You go flying through the streets, in 90, 100 miles an hour because you have that addictive nature for speed. You want that thrill. You want that high.
Damn, I got a lot of friends that succumbed to that addiction too. It's wild.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I've been very lucky in my young age.
You ever been in rehab?
Yeah.
I was in rehab once, but wasn't like my rehab thing. Even though I probably needed it, but my rehab was just to get out of trouble.
No, rehab in New York is different. Rehab in New York, a lot of people use rehab for so many reasons. I can imagine. So when you come into the whole rehab thing where you need rehab and you know you need help, but you don't know. I don't know if you're not ready or you're ready, but you hit a couple of them. You hit one out there, and then you come out and you do the thing again, and then you go back into another rehab and you come out and you do it again. And then the third time is a charm. For me, it was the third time that was a charm, But for some people, it could take even longer.
Yeah.
Eventually, something sticks. Maybe it's
something sticks. It may not be the rehab, but something else will stick.
Yeah, it could be like just the normalcy of everything in order in a hospital. Mine was a 13-day rehab, so it's a inpatient 13-day. So yeah, you would think something sticks with you.
Yeah.
And I was, to me it was, I think it was more of the peace that I found in there because it was so quiet and it was so safe and it was so warm, and maybe it was that's what I was looking for to begin with. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV.
Man, I remember I went to this rehab to get out of some trouble, and I was like, right, let's go. But at the time, I was, all right, so regardless, I smoke weed, you know what I'm saying? And I drank, you know what I mean? And at this time, the injuries that I had messed me up and ended me on some Percocets. And so I was getting, like I said, bottles of 90,000 of them a fucking week. And so I was like, shit, not only I'm selling these things, I'm taking them, you know what I'm saying? Right. But it was never it did mess up my mind as far as not giving a fuck about anything. That's the other sort. Anyway, so I got to this the rehab facility, and I'm standing there, and they're telling me, they're like, yo, I can tell you out of all these people here, you got, you're all right. So just, right. And I was like, look, just sign my fucking paper so I could get the hell out of here. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
So be back.
And so whatever, but I was sitting there, and I was just going along with the classes being good and just telling me, yeah, this is all I do. Obviously, it's an issue because I got myself in this fucking situation.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We got to a AA facility, and it was in Texas. It was a little town in Texas I ain't never heard of or whatever. But they had a biker gang that was there, and they were Alcoholic Anonymous biker gang. Uh-huh. They were, you know what I'm saying? And in this rehab facility, when you go in there, they take your shoelaces, they take your belt.
So you don't do anything.
Yeah,
so you don't harm yourself.
So you don't murk yourself up in there. You know what I'm saying? And I remember we went to the AA meeting, and the dude comes in there all Jax Teller, all Sons of Anarchy. Hey, you motherfuckers, You think you got it all together? Look at your shoes, motherfucker. I looked at my shoes. I was like,
they're slip-ons.
I was like, oh, this nigga's right, man. I can't even run right now. Oh, man. And I thought about myself right there. I was like, what am I doing out here, man?
Exactly.
So then a week later, I went AWOL and had U.S. Marshals chasing after me. But that's another story.
No, I think when somebody comes in and sits down next to you and is really has issues, You know,
Yeah.
that's when you realize, you know what,
You need to do something with yourself.
I don't belong here. I don't need to be here. You know, I got myself into a problem. I can get myself out of it. Here we go. You know.
If only you're that lucky to have brains.
Well, every now and then you have to have something that works. You know.
Man, oh man, I got horror stories of some people. It's sad. It's sad.
Well, and I got horror stories of going out and looking for it, and you know,
Yeah.
and all crazy. You know, no.
Like, who the walks through the hood of Miami and D.C. at 3 a.m?
Exactly. Or who walks through the Bronx at 3 a.m?
And then you wonder why a cop is stopping you.
Exactly. Exactly. And you're not in the good part of town either. So they're out there because you're looking for something.
Oh man.
Yeah. But I thank God that there was a period in my life that was a terrible period. That I think back now and I said, what wasted time, wasted time.
What was that, dude? Like, was the 80s?
Yeah, it was like
80s.
Yep.
I was 83, so that was
80s.
like, huh?
Late 80s.
Late 80s?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because by late 80s, because by 19 oh no, it was probably early 90s.
Yeah, because I mean, all right, I'm 83, and like earliest memories with me and you in the Bronx, I probably had to be like 3-4 years old.
Yeah, that's back then when it started.
So that's when it started?
That's when it started. Yeah.
Okay.
I met some people and we became close, and then like you said, it was a social drug at the time. People used to come in, take a little sniff of this, take a little sniff of that.
Yeah.
And when it's something that some people could handle, because some of the people that I hung out with definitely could handle it. They would go to work and have no issue.
You'd see them and then you knew you could be the functional one,
right,
as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it works out. Like alcoholics know, like people that use drugs know. That's not the way it works out.
I've met some functioning ass heroin, crack addicts, cocaine.
It happens every day.
But I mean, yeah, it's like some people. Yeah, it's not.
I used to work with a guy that used to come in with little vodka bottles. And he had a
They had a gun holster full of vodka.
Yeah, pretty much. And he would go into the bathroom and kick them back and then throw them in the garbage. And of course we were cleaning the building, so we would come across all his little bottles. But the guy could sell. The guy sold his ass off in the store. That's why they kept him around, because he could sell, man. And the more juiced he was, the more he sold.
That's crazy.
So talk about functioning addicts. Eventually, it catches up with you, But,
yeah, because your ass be shaking.
Yeah.
You can't even. I seen a video the other day. This dude from Russia. They drink. Like their vodka doesn't even come in bottles with labels no more. It's just like a fucking little piece of glass. Here you go.
Yeah.
And this dude, like, he was shaking. They had to feed it to him, and he downed the whole thing. Like of course it's like 35,000 below zero over there too. So it's like they don't even feel the vodka go down. So those niggas, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine.
Well, they drink vodka like water over there.
Yeah, that's basically shit.
Instead of a glass of water, they have a glass of vodka.
It's like a Puerto Rican from Fort Lauderdale. They drink vodka, like Tito's vodka. Like
what's up with
these
that?
Puerto Ricans need to get Tito's tattooed on their ass.
What's up with that? I mean, I dig the name and everything, but I remember when I was hitting the clubs and stuff like that. It was all, rum and cokes and.
And back in those days, it was remember it was the major one. It was rum and coke, 7 and 7, vodka and orange, Long Island iced tea.
Yep, and maybe a couple of
gin was like
gin and tonics, stuff like that.
Yeah, but
that was further up.
The hood niggas in L.A. drink gin. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah.
Oh man, I remember I got ripped off a bottle of Georgie vodka when I had to leave New York. And y'all, left me at my grandmother's house with my dog, and I knew it was the last night I was gonna see my dog. I was all crying. I was choking on Georgie vodka. Fell asleep on the damn wood floor and shit.
All barf around you.
And then my dog ate it.
And then they had to put him down.
Oh shit!
Yikes.
Oh man, I remember. It's weird how like even food was the selection of food was scarce back in them days. That's why everybody was so retarded.
So retarded.
There was not much to choose from. There was no variety to challenge the brain.
Well, but you know, when it came to Puerto Rican cooking, you know, if you were into the mofongos and the sopas and all that kind of stuff, that, you know, all that stuff has a lot of nutrients. You know, they put all the vegetables and all the roots in there.
In the sancochos and the
sancochos and, you know, that stuff made you. You know, I remember my dad saying, "Cómate eso, que eso te hace fuerte." You know, it makes you big and strong. You know, I was like, oh, okay. You know.
Yeah, I swear to God, I will hop on a plane right now just to go to New York just to fucking eat different shit.
Right on. I would too.
It's
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll come back next time you see us. We'll be in New York.
You know what I'm saying? Fat as shit.
It's too cold in New York right now. Screw that. I'm fine.
I think actually the weather's been bipolar, so I think it's actually nice out there.
Ooh.
That shit wild.
I know it was like 20 below yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Con yo.
Yeah. Even, you know, the big guy from Channel 2, what's his name? Al Rogoff.
He's not big anymore. He's an Al Rogoff.
He's still pretty big.
Oh,
No,
shit.
he actually just had
Corona?
No, he actually just had some cancer removed or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He's
Cancer.
one of those lovable guys that has been around forever, and, you know.
Is it true that they put computer graphics for the balloons on Macy's Day Parade this year? Like, so, like, if you watched it on TV because they didn't have nobody out there, they put, like, computer graphics, like...
No, what they did is they went back to other years. So it was
And
like,
they just showed you film of other years?
Yeah. They showed you
I guess that's a
film
good idea.
of other years, productions of
okay.
shows
I heard,
and stuff like that.
You said Al Roker, so that's why I wanted to, just ask that question real quick.
No, he was there, but there was no balloons.
He was the only balloon there.
and actually, I
can't say that shit anymore.
Some of the productions that were actually done were done days ahead. So it really wasn't old footage. It was new footage, but of different parts of the city. So you would have somebody performing on the top of, 30 Rock, or somebody down on 42nd Street singing a song or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the way the parade was this year.
Anyway.
I believe.
Shit.
I think I sat through most of it, so I think I did enjoy it. So.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Well, your parents.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was over here passing on the back smoking turkeys and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Deep frying turkeys, no?
No, that was the year before.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this year was smoking turkeys.
That's right. So.
God damn. Anyways, Jeet.
No, I haven't.
Oh
but
shit.
let's eat. That sounds good.
I want to do something a little crazy today. Not a little crazy, but a little cool. Okay. Like I said earlier, it's kind of funny, you know what I mean? People go to the restaurants and they order calamari,
right?
And you're paying all that. You could just pay way cheaper, get a pound of it, and do it here at yourself. So
exactly.
I got some bodies and the tubes. Now I know a lot of people go to the supermarket and they see those tubes, the squid tubes, and they don't they're like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that?
Supposed to clean it first.
And cut it down, and that's your calamari rings, you know what I'm saying? And the bodies. Well, that's if you're going all the way ham. Oh. If your supplier is doing that, then that's a different video altogether that we need to be doing. Like I need to go to your supplier and see what's cracking, because that means they got fresh. Now they have fresh over here, but it was all cleaned out for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got the tubes and the bodies, and we're gonna just fry a little bit of calamari. Have a little appetizer. Show them what it do.
Sounds good.
And yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Making noise in the kitchen.
All right. Sounds good, brother.
Welcome back. So here.
Welcome back.
Look at them. I'm gonna show them what we got here. So they're probably getting, but these are the bodies, man. The tentacles.
Those are the crunchy ones that you eat.
They're so delicious. And these are the tubes. These are what you see at the supermarket. Everybody is like, what in the hell? But these are the calamari rings. So this is what's gonna get you the perfect little ring. So all you gotta do is when you get it, get that leg off me. When you get it, is just there you go. Get yourself a good knife and slice them down. Nice size, not too big. You don't want them to be all chewy but you don't want them to be small where they disintegrate in the oil. You know what I'm saying? Look at that beautiful knife. Going right through it.
Perfect.
Yeah, man. And these are how you get your calamari rings right here. Right here. Yep.
They look like little onion rings.
Pretty much. You know what I mean? Get your little tubes. This is the top. Like pretty much this is how it goes. This top is the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Top, bottom. And that's how they swim. And then they get them and pull them out and flip them inside out and show you party people what it's all about. Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway.
That becomes Squidward.
Yes, it does. Let's just scare all the fucking kids that watch this show. Nah, the kids shouldn't be watching this.
Exactly. Squidward, no.
Squidward, aquí,
SpongeBob.
ven aquí.
Help.
Yo le gusta comiendo y tú.
Comiendo y
I
tú.
don't fucking know.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna take these, and this is a pound of squid. Half bodies and half tops. Look at that. There's a lot of calamari. Yeah, man. This is what you order. Well, when you get, you go to Joe and Joe's. You ever been to Joe and Joe's in the Bronx?
No.
Over by my neighborhood, Castle Hill.
Yeah, I think I have.
We've had
I think that's where I had my graduation dinner.
We've had plenty of get-togethers over there.
Yeah.
Just like Green Dragon, that was in my neighborhood. We had a lot of get-togethers at that Chinese restaurant. It was a great one. But yeah, Joe and Joe's. It was a Costa Nostra. Like you go over there, you better watch how you behave yourself. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those restaurants. And you ordered a calamari. That's how you gotta say it. I don't like going to restaurants and saying, "Can I get an order of calamari, please?" I don't like saying that.
I say calamari.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, let me get an order of that calamari over there, all right?
All right.
You know, I just keep it real. If you're not saying it like that, then just go to McDonald's or something. Yeah, always the calamari everywhere. It's a lot of people. If they go to a restaurant, they see calamari, and they be like, "You want to start with anything? Let me get the calamari over there."
Exactly. With a nice sauce there.
Exactly, a nice marinara.
And yeah, exactly.
I was gonna go all out tonight and make a little sauce and all that, but then my inner Italian was like, "Hey, go fuck yourself. Make a regular marinara."
There you go.
So that's what I decided to do. I'm gonna just keep it regular. Cause earlier I was on my cosa, tu sabes, cause I made some spaghetti and meatballs, and I'll show you this picture. Insert there. It was a good, spaghetti and meatballs, and so I figured, calamari. That's a nice, it's a nice tu sabes.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
This is a lot of calamari.
Now, people, you this is not fish. It is in the fish family, but it really does. You don't smell any fish. I'm sitting here right next to Dom Perignon over here, and I don't smell any fish smell whatsoever.
Yeah, it's I forget what family you call it, whatever. But look, nice. I already cleaned all these out. It's not, and it's 1, 2, 3. It's all you got to do is do this until it's and to brown nicely. You're about to see. Boom. I'm gonna turn this heat on. Get this at least to like 375, at least at 350. Excuse me, 350 would be good. You know what I mean? And it's real easy. Earlier, what I did is I got some flour and seasoned it. I seasoned it with some Slap Your Mama, a little bit of cayenne pepper, some cactus dust from Florida Everglades seasoning.
Nice.
And also a little bit of chili powder. Yeah. All right, and of course adobo, coño. And yeah, you know, just don't do it like, you know, they usually do. They just put in regular flour. That's all fine and dandy if, you know, you're gonna be, you know, selling this or something like that. But you know, if you're doing this at the crib, make it, you know, spice up your life. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I'm not gonna go crazy and make a different dipping sauce. I usually like doing that, and I just don't have enough ingredients to do it today. So we're just gonna go classic since we're in the Italian household. You know?
Exactly.
Over here, over there. Make sure you have your lemon on the side. Always, if you're gonna do calamari, have your lemon. Also, make sure you have a thermometer. Don't burn this oil. Don't OD go crazy, because then your whole house gonna just be going nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, minimum 350, maximum 375. You can throw it in flour. You can throw it in breadcrumb. A lot of people do it that way.
Oh, really?
I find that it's like not a, I don't know. You usually find that at like lower scale kind of places. You know what I'm saying? Something quick, like they like a little like Great Adventure spot or something, like, you know what I'm saying? It was a quick cut. Like, it almost reminds me of like mozzarella sticks. You know what I'm saying? When you do it, it's like don't do all that. You know what I mean? But a lot of people now do it in panko as well, and that's cool. That's all right if you want to add a little bit of flair to it, make yourself look a little different. You know what I mean? But I find in just the flour alone just does what it's got to do, you know what I mean? Exactly. So I'm going to throw it in there now and let it sit in the flour just for a little minute until this oil is ready to go, so this way it can, you know, get accustomed to it.
So this is one of those meals that if you have it in the refrigerator and you take it out, it's ready to roll in what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, shit, all you're doing is dipping in flour and putting right into the oil.
Yeah, so it's a quick, easy a quick, easy meal. You know, make some sauce. Put a little sauce out there with you. Take a bottle of wine over. Make somebody's afternoon.
If a chick loves calamari,
there you go.
And you be like, hey, want to come over? You know, we can drink some wine, watch a movie, have an hors d'oeuvre or something. You're like, yeah, know that. And you cook crispy, fresh calamari
right
from her. You probably gonna get the calamari. I'm telling you.
Yikes. Ba-dum-bum. Refer all the hate mail to.
I'm just saying.
I wasn't saying, I was just saying. That's hilarious.
They call me the calamari catcher.
He means at sea.
So that's how we're to see, like, you know what I'm saying? Right there. I'm gonna see on my chest like this. That's a new porn name, the calamari catcher.
That would be the funniest ever.
Shit, just shove a tidy whities in the front of the cover. Calamari catcher.
Tidy whities. You know you're gonna be on wearing a thong out there.
Hell nah, I'm not. I could never. I could.
You can't
never.
pull off a thong.
No, there's no fucking way. There's no way anything. I don't know how chicks do it. Like, you'll be walking around. There's gotta be some part of the day.
Exactly.
Come
exactly.
on.
I mean, or do you just? I don't get it. I don't get it.
You know what I'm saying? They have that thing stuck up their ass all day long, but yeah, you try to put a finger in there. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What the hell? You just had this damn. You had a pinky stuck up your ass crack the whole day long.
Oh no, he didn't. Here we go. Those are left for quieter times. Stories like that were left for quieter times.
The whole day long, all this up ass, and then it's a problem when they get a middle finger in there. Like,
Nice. You hear the old, that's an exit, not an entrance. That's hilarious. So true, though. No, I'm only kidding. I don't know. I don't know about those things.
I remember this prostitute used to say, "Oh, this is like,
Oh my God.
I'd never do that." And I'm like, "But you sell your pussy? Like, what do you mean? Like, if that going up your ass is gonna be the most unbelievable thing you've ever done? Like,
No, that's just one thing I want to.
that's just one line that I'm not. I got morals. Yeah, okay, whatever you say." Ow. Ugh. Ugh.
Yikes.
It'll be alright. Getting flour everywhere. Get this in there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Drop them in there. Not too much, but these are small. So. God damn.
Oh, nice.
What up?
Sure is looking pretty.
Already doing their thing. You want them a nice golden brown. Don't want to overcook them. Really pay attention to the rings. You don't want them like so white, but and then you'll see that the cooking process is actually about being done because the oil kind of calms down, you know what I mean? Probably like one more minute. Pulling them out, the cooking process, they'll still cook a couple minutes while sitting because they're so hot. Pull them out.
Check out those rings. Those are perfectly formed.
You know, it's better safe than sorry. And you can't go wrong with, you know, pulling these out early, you know what I'm saying? And as soon as you get them out, salt them. These bad boys off. Move them around, make sure they're separated, they're not sticking together. But once they fry up, they start curling up.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll separate themselves. I mean, you see how easy this shit is? Don't light shit on fire, like.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You know, I've spoken to a lot of our watchers, and not a lot, a few. They say that they've gotten some good cooking tips from you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate it. Keep watching. There's more. I mean, yeah, man, I'm learning along with y'all as well too. So you know what I'm saying? It's just experience. Just put yourself out there and do this, and shit, you get better. It's just like with anything.
Yep.
Like City Island.
Exactly.
Man, R.I.P. Paul. Simple as that. That's just marinara with a little bit of red chili peppers, chili flakes.
So how much was that pound of calamari?
My God, $4.
And this would cost you about $15-20. Right?
Straight up, straight
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Put a couple of lemons on there.
Simple as that, man.
It's a beautiful thing.
There you have it. I mean, shit. This is calamari at home. Like this is how simple it is. Um, we be right back. I'm gonna just we gonna taste this and go on from there.
Exactly. I'll let you know how it is. And if I would pay for that when we come back.
Tú sabes.
Ya tú sabes, mijo. Pues, ¿qué tú dices? Vamos a comer un poquito de esto.
Yeah, let's try it out, man. The calamari. This shit looks bussin'. It does remind Conchi Joe's and Jensen, and does remind me of especially City Island. City Island, go on. Oh, we should put some lemon all over these bitches.
Oh, there you go.
Try the rings first.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just a couple seconds, yo.
That takes you right back to Conky Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out in the summertime, enjoying the weather, watching the sunset, eating some appetizers, drinking some drinks. Nothing better for a weekend.
The marinara is neutral, cold, and it's like you got a little bit of the chew on the calamari, on both the rings and the bodies, and then the breading is just perfectly around it.
And then the legs is crispy and crunchy and delicious.
And you're not doing much. There's no mechanics to this shit whatsoever. Alone with the lemon, with the marinara, brings me to Country Joe's. With the lemon, brings me to City Island. That's crazy.
I think with the lemon would take me to Key West.
Yeah, something like that. Like I need to be on water eating this shit. Man, who would have knew?
Who would have known that this is so easy to make and so delicious?
And I was gonna use like the cast iron pot and everything like that, and I was like, nah. I'm gonna go even more. I'm gonna show you could do this at the crib. Like, yo, you could set up such a organized event in a backyard and make that shit special with just food alone.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then once you add drinks into the mixture, that shit crazy.
This would be a great appetizer.
Yeah, straight up.
For any light party, you know.
Wintertime, summertime, whenever. Like probably marinara for the winter. Summer, mix it up. Make a sauce. Just don't be afraid to like get some fruit blended up. Put some acidity in it.
Exactly. I mean, you could use it even in tartar sauce. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little Caucasian, but whatever.
Delicious. You know, the little legs remind me of something that you would see like on Star Trek or something, you know. Excuse me.
I always go for the bodies. I love them more. I would take a whole plate of bodies than the rings.
Wow. That is really good.
It's crazy, huh?
So fresh and delicious.
Simple as that. It's wild. That brings, it really does bring, I think more than anything, I think of the Bronx when I eat these. I just think of that old school thing, you know what I mean?
Coney Island.
Not even Coney Island. I think more of Brooklyn, and I think of the Bronx. Whenever I eat these things. Hell yeah.
Orchard Beach.
City Island.
City Island.
I miss them damn days, man. Even though they were filled with a lot of hell, I do miss them days.
It's our childhood.
Yeah, well,
You know.
it's weird though. It's weird. I guess growing up with the stepfather that I had made things very weird. It almost changes the whole direction of the Subway Stories. Because like there's a lot of things with that nigga that I don't think normal childhood.
I could vouch for that. I definitely do not think there was anything normal about your childhood.
You know what I'm saying?
When I say Uncle Mario in the beginning, this is real. He's my nephew,
Like
and he has not.
he's seen some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. And it's like I guess I can appreciate the culture of it. You know, one thing that was weird growing up is like he used to say to me, I guess, he got with my mom and they decided they wanted to get a house somewhat in the burbs. So, we moved to Westchester County. And he used to say to me, he's like, you should fucking thank me to be living like this. And I'd be like, what?
That's exactly what you want to be hearing. Right?
I never understood it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, you better shape up. I'm kicking you the out of here. And as soon as you're 18, you're done. I used to hear it all the time. As soon as you're 18, you're done. You're done. I was like, all right, well, whatever. I never understood that shit, though.
Actually, he was the one that was done.
Yeah, right? I turned 18 and his ass is gone.
Exactly.
Growing up with this guy, he had this, like, huge-ass scar. Almost looked like the sides of bed, like bed sheets, the elastic part. Mm-hmm. You see how it's like wrinkle like that? It was like that over here. I never understood like what the hell that was. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what is that? He's like, I got shot. I'm like, word? Oh, wow. And he was a cop. You know what I mean? And so, like, I always thought he was, you know what I mean? And me being young into Steven Seagal and all that bullshit, I was like, man, this guy's a shit.
Right. This guy's a badass.
He be telling me these stories about he's coked out of his mind. Like, coked out. I mean, the first time I almost sniffed coke was with him. Almost. And we were sitting in the dining room table just like this. And he was rambling on about something. And then he goes, hey, keep your fucking mouth closed. And I'm like, what? He pulled out the aluminum foil and just like, baka, baka, started hitting that shit. And he went to go like that, and he's like, nah, never mind.
What a piece of shit.
If he would have passed it, I probably would have hit that shit. Yeah, I would have hit that shit. You know what I'm saying?
What a piece of shit he is.
You know what I'm saying? But like that's how wild that nigga was. But he had that scar, right? And so he always told me, oh, yo, he got shot, this and that, yo. And for the longest, he always played like this big gangster because I see a cop and then I see, a nigga who's like selling coke.
Oh my God.
And it's like when his son ran away, the nigga ran downstairs. This is what, 1994, 93? He walks downstairs with the shotgun on his shoulder with the long trench coat, and everybody in the front of the stoop moved out of the way. Here comes Chico. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, this dude is wild. And then he got his son, handcuffed him to the radiator. It was like some old school New York cop shit. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I was like, yo, this nigga's wild. And yeah, sure enough, throughout all the years later, all the stories he told me about, it was this and that, it's an altercation, this and that. That nigga shot himself by accident.
Did your mom tell you that?
Yeah. And then I found out from his partner, Pat, like the one who's been his partner forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? We still friends with her.
He shot himself by accident.
Yeah, he was wild. When all this shit went down, when we all finally separated ways, he sent a letter to his best friend Pat and was like, I want to let my whole past go. I want to like not remember none of it because his daughter died. You know what I'm saying, Vanessa? His son. I got stories for days, but we'll probably get into that in the future with him. But like, yeah, it was wild. Like this dude was just like, he was like living.
He was living Scarface.
I think maybe that's what may have fucked up me in my 20s and everything, because I had like essence of him without even noticing it within myself.
Of course.
And I started noticing that shit when I would argue with, you know what I'm saying, with my baby moms and everything. Like we were arguing, the way I was yelling, I was like, all of a sudden his face came into my mind and I was like, oh shit. I was like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's a part of it, because he had no respect for nobody. Like, not my mom's, not family, no nothing. He used to bring binoculars to the beach just to look at pussy all day. And
Yeah,
his wife is sitting right here.
He's a character, yeah.
Yeah, it was wild, yo. So it's like, that's why, I don't know. I think shit, I could see where shit like that fucked up my head.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Yeah. Not making no excuses, but goddamn, I'm good now. Don't worry about it. We good.
I agree. 100%.
We're good. Yeah, it was wild.
We wouldn't be good. We wouldn't be here if we weren't good.
But, throughout all that time growing up, I noticed a lot of friends and everything, they all were succumbing to heroin. I talked about this earlier. Like, everybody was dying from heroin overdoses. All my people.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of friends that me and Nick have that we share, even friends with that I know, you know what I mean, and family members died from heroin overdoses, you know what I'm saying? And when I started writing music, this was like really, I would take all these stories from Step Pops from the beginning all the way into like even now, you know what I'm saying? Now I dial back. Obviously, I don't make music like that no more, and I'm starting to get that little thing in me. But like, I would use all these stories, and it just like, it amazed me how heroin overdoses are just like everywhere around me.
Yeah.
Like, it's the most craziest thing. And I wrote this song, Where There's a Will, There's a Way. Do you remember some of the song?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That song was even about a chick that I was, you know what I mean? We grew up in school together, and she was like the ugly duckling, you sort of say, you know what I mean? And
She came back to be the Swan Princess, huh?
one of them. And that's one thing that my ex-stepfather used to say to me. He used to tell me at that time, I'd be 16, 15 years old, even younger, and he'd be like, yo, the ugliest one in your school, start fucking her now. Because when, you know what I'm saying, everybody hates her and everything, but in a couple years when she gets older, 25, 26, she going to be a bad bitch. And all these people going to hate that they missed out.
That's true.
Yo, it's crazy because he was fucking right. He was right. Like, so there's like 4 chicks that I went to school with when I was young, and like I ended up meeting them in the future, and we got a little history, but whatever. But like, he was right, and they all came out bad. Like, one of them, my homegirl, mad respect to her, but she was a stripper, and like, man, I ended up meeting her. Like, I had to go back to the crib at the whole strip club, like, you know what I mean, like nice. Shit like that, you know what I mean. But this girl,
those are the French benefits of going out with a stripper.
Oh yeah, oh man, I got stripper stories for days, man. Like, I got fun strip club stories, man. I used to have a really good time. I was a strip club ambassador when I was younger, nigga. Oh my God, it was crazy. Like, this girl, she ended up getting implants and all that. She was stacked, you know what I mean? But I ended up linking up with her, and I could still see within talking to her, even though she wasn't letting me know everything when we first started talking, but I could still see that there was something in this fucking girl. Like, she was getting bullied in some way still, because she was like the bully that everybody would, you know what I mean, that nobody wanted to date her, all that bullshit, you know what I mean? And I saw there was still something in her. But at that time when we met each other, I was jacked up. Like, I didn't care about myself and the people around me. What am I care about this girl for, you know what I mean? I still had love for her, you know what I mean? Because I still didn't go all the way ham like I could have, you know what I mean? At that time, as cruel as that fucking sounds. But it's like,
but if you can't love yourself, you can't.
I couldn't help.
Love anybody else.
If I can't help myself, neither, how can I help anybody else? Right. You know what I mean? And so, meeting that chick, I saw that, and we ended up linking up, and I was doing shows in Philly and all this, and so she was like, yo, I want to ride with you. And I'm like, you don't got nowhere to go? Find out she got her kid taken away from her. So I'm like, all right, this girl really, really, you know what I'm saying, hardcore. I was like, all right, we could go, you know what I'm saying, you ride with me. So, like, I bring her out to Philly with all my people there, and we get there, and we got a bottle of vodka, and automatically this girl starts chugging that shit.
Yikes, not a good sign.
She literally, within like 5 minutes of being there in Philly, was passed out on the couch, pissed, gone, drunk. And everybody looking at me like, what the f*** did you just bring over here? And I was like, yo, I've known this girl pretty much all my life, so like, she's got some issues, just let her ride. She'll be drunk, maybe it'll be better tomorrow or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yikes.
And yeah, it was bad. So me and my naiveness, you know what I'm saying, she got out of her drunkenness. We ended up smashing and shit.
Of course you did.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm driving back to the crib, and I drop her off. And I'm like, here, I'm going to drop you off. And she's like, hey, is there any way you can help me? Like, maybe, you know what I'm saying, I'll come stay with you, something like that. And I'm like, I have children over here, and like, No, it's like that's not happening. You know, I was like, tell you what, the only way I can help you is if you get up $600 and I can take you to Philly and I'll get you an apartment right over there. It's gonna be kind of hoodish, but at least you're gonna be Gucci. You could start over. And she's like, I need something right now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And she hung up on me.
That's pretty cool shit. No, it's reality.
It's like, then what can I do?
It seems like, you know, but you know, I don't know. I was gonna say people put themselves in these positions, in these situations.
Yeah, and then you know, you're looking at like I'm looking at it like I don't know. She told me once, she's like, yeah, you know, heroin was my shit, but I don't with that no more or whatever. And so I'm just seeing her just down in alcohol like a motherfucker, and she passed out on the couch. And so I'm like, all right, so she's replacing the heroin with obviously something else. I was like, but this girl still got issues. So I told her, I said, yo, I can't help you unless you want to help yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. And I kind of felt bad for that because regardless, like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do her wrong or whatever. And obviously she had issues. And so I called her back and it was just answering machine. Like she wasn't answering and shit. So
probably for the best.
Yeah.
You know, because really, I mean, you know, you have to start looking for for yourself.
Yeah, in order to fix yourself, you gotta. In order to get fixed, you have to. It starts with yourself.
We're always trying to fix somebody else, or trying to fix the situation, or trying to fix something. Yeah. You know, I guess at the end of the day, you know, you got to fix yourself, and you really can't be influenced by anybody. You know.
Well, I told myself that after I called and she didn't pick up the phone. I told myself that, and my day went on as usual. And at the end of the night, you know, I couldn't smoke inside at the time, so I went outside to my car, and I'm smoking, you know, lit up and everything, and I'm on my phone messing around. I'm clicking through Facebook, and all of a sudden I see her sister posted on Facebook, I can't believe this, rest in peace to my sister. And Shorty ended up ODing on heroin that day. You know what I'm saying? And I was pretty much with her the night before. Like, I dropped her off home. She basically went inside probably for a couple minutes, called whoever the went to the nigga's house, and shot up and died right there. Yeah. After this is what I found out afterwards.
And it happens every day, you know?
Yeah. So she left behind a kid that, you know what I'm saying, she lost custody of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, like, I remember, I mean, I was a little shook. I'm sure. I'm saying people who in the circle might see this now and be like, what the f? But I'm seeing the friends post, you know, rest in peace, so-and-so. And I was like, I'm staying away from this.
Well, because, you know, sometimes things like that don't turn out well. So whoever's,
I mean, of course, it's like
they
could have came, start questioning me, whatever. You could question me. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, if anything, more than anything, I tried helping this girl, you know what I'm saying? But it was just for it to hit so close to home like that. Like, I was literally just like, you know, hugging this girl a couple hours beforehand, you know what I'm saying? And now she's gone, you know what I'm saying? That's a very spooky thing if you ever had like death like come that close to you, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's not the first time death has come that close to me, but that, man, that inspired such a I wrote that song where there's a will there's a way literally in fucking 10 minutes.
That's crazy.
10 minutes.
Such a banging song. Yeah. You gonna play some of it?
You want me to play it?
Yeah, let's play some of it.
Yeah. Man, I think like this song, like this is there's songs that you used to hear from me. You can go to datpiff datpiff.com and look up Carlo Banga. And there's an old album called Bread. There's an old album called AWOL. And you can listen to shit that I used to rap about. Everything that I used to rap about it is real. Like, it's not fake. Even the stories, even if, like, I say that I died in this, I'm making up, you know, because I want to make things, you know, kind of novelic for people, if that's a word. But it's all real shit. Like, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. This is a rough, kind of like a rough draft. This is home studio built. what I used to do. You know what I'm saying? And this is raw, like straight emotion. You know that I wish I could get somebody that could sing the hook pretty good. Maybe people hear this and see where it could go, but you know what I'm saying. I stopped recording. I need to get back into it. But anyway, this song is called When There's a Will, There's a Way.
Taken away, she drank the master pain. Was happy when she was young, now she don't act the same. Heroin was one of her many vices. I swear when we was in school, she was never like this. Such a shame she had it nowhere fast. Life disagreeing with her, she had no fair chance. Was dealt a bad con, she a black sheep all her life. I witnessed her giving up, yo, she had no fight. I mean, I told her stay strong when there's a will, there's a way. But she ain't had no hope, plus nowhere to stay. Damn. Baby girl, y'all was all messed up. She hit rock bottom and she ain't know how to get up. And I ain't help her though, I just fed her more. I was selfish though, and pretty much I'm sure that she gon' give it up. She's searching for love, and I ain't had that to give her. So for now, we just cut. Dang, I know times how you won't get away.
It's like I still put the faults out of my own. I'm not gonna sit here and tell a story of this poor girl and not, take faults of my own, you know what I'm saying? I wanted it still to be poetic in that sense, and it's like she was searching for love, but I ain't had that to give her. So for now, we'll just what, you know what I'm saying? And even in the hook, you hear it says she was searching from her mother, didn't find it. Like I used to see her moms say crazy shit to her and everything like that. It's wild.
Stay away from the pain. When there's a will, there's a way. When there's a will, there's a way. Baby girl, when there's a will, there's a way. And we all riding just to get to the top. And know that you feeling like the stress won't stop. There's a will, there's a way. When there's a will, there's a way. Baby girl, when there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, you gotta get through the nonsense and just man up. When you faced with adversity, put your hands up. Don't give up now, girl, you gotta see the race. It ain't up to them, it's you that's gotta be the change. But it's all the same, drink until you pass out. The acid brothers and strangers start poking the ass out. And I was thinking with my other hand, I put it in. I should've left her alone, that's what I should've did. But I kept on stroking to the moon and flipped her off and flipped her again. Man, I was going in. I disregarded tribulations and I dig deep. She confused, I know I'm swimming up shit's creek. After that, I'm getting texts that she miss me. Man, I can't do it dirty cause we got history. Even with her mama, she was searching for love, but she ain't had that to give her, so for now she did drugs. Why? I know times hard, you won't get away, and it's good to stay away from the pain.
That's banging, man.
She was searching for it, you know what I mean? She couldn't find it nowhere, so. And it's like she used to tell me herself, she's like, I just want my mom to love me. And that shit used to, I almost wanted to cry sometimes talking to this fucking girl. Like, it was like a little eye opener fucking with this chick right here.
Sad,
I wasn't
man.
just
It's sad
just
that
fucking with her.
people,
Like, this is my homegirl. Like,
this is a life. This is somebody's life,
Mm-hmm.
That's just.
When there's a will, there's a way. When there's a will, there's a way. Baby girl, when there's a will, there's a way. And we all riding just to get to the top. I know what you're
feeling like the stress won't stop. When there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Baby girl, where there's a will, there's a way.
2 days later, late afternoon, I get a text that she going through things, her life riddled with stress. I'm like, you need to slow down and maybe analyze. You gotta go get it, make reality of what you fantasize. She like, that's cool, but for now I need somewhere to stay. We knew each other as kids, we kissed in 10th grade. I'm like, I wish I could help you, but baby girl, I'm hurt. If you can come up with bread, I can make something work. But she wasn't hearing none of that and hung up. But once gone, just negativity summed up. Couple days passed and I ain't hearing from Shorty. Called and got an answering machine, and so I said, sorry. There's a moral to the story. You can go at any moment. This could be
Your last seconds with someone and you ain't know it. Memories of us laughing, riding in my Gixxer. Rest in peace to her sister.
I know times is hard, you won't get away.
And escape or stay away from the pain. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Baby girl, where there's a will, there's a way. And we all grinding just to get to the top. I know that you're feeling like the stress won't stop. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Baby girl, where there's a will, there's a way.
Banging.
That shit wild.
That's crazy. Tells a great story. You know, that's, you know, music does that. Music will grab you and tell you a great story, and, you know.
I mean, hopefully it can open up people's eyes too. Like that's one thing I always wish. One thing with making my music, I always wished on filling stadiums and having them just rap my songs. You know what I'm saying? But also just like those songs where people hear them and be like, "Yo, that shit made me feel a certain way." You know what I mean? That shit made me think. And so I never was one to make. I would make those club bangers, a couple of them here and there, but a lot of my songs was always formatted songs from the beginning to the end. It tells you a story throughout the whole thing. It goes through all.
And those are the best songs.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
They have like a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's the kind of shit I like. I was more of a writer than anything, but yeah, when there's a will, there's a way. And I used to say exactly that to her. So that's why I felt it was appropriate to name the song that.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I would say her name, rest in peace, Shorty, you know what I mean? But I just don't want to, you know, ruffle any feathers or anything like that. But yeah, man, it's a sad story, man. Sad story.
Well, like I said,
I mean, it bring down nobody and shit, but yeah, it followed the course that we was taking, you know what I mean? And
like I said, you know, when I was doing my counseling down in New York and I became a counselor, you know, you would hear it like once a couple of months, you know, hey, you know, this guy OD'd last night.
yeah,
You know,
it's wild.
and after a while, after my first year there, I was like, it became almost like, okay, what's new? You know?
Yeah, for real. That's how
It's
I
so
went.
crazy.
That's how I went. A lot of times I'm hearing this person died, this person died, this person died. It was like, what in the hell is going on?
But that's life. And
It
then
is
we
what it is.
snap out of it and
Yeah,
become
and get back to fucking work.
we become people again.
You know what I'm saying? All that remorse goes out the window.
No, I think it's a lesson learned.
Yeah, nah, definitely lesson learned. Good little eye opener for some that some people need.
Because you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way.
Baby girl, where there's a will, there's a way. You heard me? MakeANoiseInTheKitchen.com. www.makeANoiseInTheKitchen.com.
Check it out. Check out the store.
You
Check
know,
out something.
that was just another one of our little Subway stories. We got in a little deep today. Like I said, like we said, we wanted to switch things up. We don't want to keep, you know, on the certain level of Trump things and all that. You know what I mean? Whatever. But we want to make it fun and we want to make it awareness. You know, make you aware, educational. You never know. Maybe you got something out of this. You know what I'm saying? And if you're down in a rut, go and receive that help, man. Speak to anybody. You don't need to be a professional. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Heroin. There's a lot of ways to get away from things, and heroin and closing in doesn't need to be one of them. Trust me,
Absolutely not.
because I used to close in. So, anyway, thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. You know what I'm saying? Please comment, like, and subscribe. Click that notification bell down there so every time we release a video, you know what's popping. You know what I'm saying? Do check out the store, www.makingnoiseinthekitchen.com. Follow us on all social media outlets at makingnoiseinthekitchen.com. I am your boy, Carlo Banga, a.k.a. Don Perignon.
And I'm Uncle Mario, a.k.a. the Senator.
Holla at me. Make a noise in the kitchen, bitch.
Out. Peace.